Alright, time to go to work. Welcome back to the channel, Descenders. First off, yeah, I know things might look a little different, but I wanted to try a new approach for this video, and hopefully it turns out well. So over the past couple months, Disney has been preparing to reopen the gates to Auradon and the Isle of the Lost for us, as they recently dropped 2 teaser trailers for the upcoming new film, Descendants: The Rise of Red. Wow, we went 3 years without any new Descendants content, and that felt like an eternity. But now it's like Fairy Godmother has returned to give us the magic we needed. I guess dreams really do come true after all. Sorry, I got caught up in the moment. This film will be streaming this summer on Disney Plus July 12th, with the following broadcast premiere on Disney Channel August 9th. While this may be the 4th Descendants film in the franchise, this is really considered more of a spin-off of the original trilogy. Here, we briefly catch up with Uma after the events of Descendants 3 and the Royal Wedding, but we also get our first glimpse of 2 new faces for the franchise. Red, the daughter of the Queen of Hearts, and Chloe, the daughter of Cinderella and Prince Charming. I'm going to go back to both of these teaser trailers to see things we might have missed, try to uncover everything we know about the plot so far, with most of these updates coming from news articles like Entertainment Weekly and People magazine, and discuss how this will impact the entire Descendants franchise going forward. However, I will reveal a few leaks of the film provided by trustworthy sources from Instagram and Twitter, but I'll exclude the major leaks since I want to keep those on the down low for a while. Also, at the time I'm editing this video, I've already picked up my copy of the new prequel book, Beyond the Isle of the Lost, and I'm currently reading it right now. I won't give away the whole story for some who haven't gotten it yet, since I'm still 3 chapters in, but I will be talking about certain plot points we learned before its release that are really interesting. So for those who want to wait until the film is out, and if you want to get the book for yourself, spoiler warning before I continue. Also, if you haven't seen the original trilogy and any other Descendants related content in a while, or if this is your first time, then I'll issue another spoiler warning for you. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so from the first March teaser, we pick back up with Uma, the daughter of Ursula, with China and McClane returning to reprise the role. You may remember Uma as the main antagonist of Descendants 2, and as one of the supporting characters in Descendants 3, and the Royal Wedding animated special. Not only she has been welcomed to Auradon and presumably attended Auradon Prep, but now she has apparently taken the position as the new principal. We also get a glimpse of her office, which is filled with a lot of nautical nonsense, like a model of a pirate ship, a globe, and a starfish. Huh, I guess it really is a pirate's life for her. So I'm sure you're asking, how and when did this happen for Uma? Well, the first 3 movies haven't been very clear on the exact timeline of events, and they don't actually follow our own timeline much like the MCU currently. I assume that D1 took place in 2015, let's say like late summer to early fall or something like that, as they were starting the new school year at that time. And we know D2 is set 6 months later, and I would probably pinpoint that at like early 2016. However, D3 and the Royal Wedding don't deliberately state how long it's been since D2 either, so it's pretty clear that a certain amount of time has definitely passed between the movies. Now, if I had to guess the exact point in time for the Rise of Red to take place, I'm gonna say that maybe D3 is set in late 2018, then placing the Royal Wedding in 2019, because I think Mal and Ben's wedding would have taken a year to plan. And if it's a few years later, then maybe the Rise of Red could be set in 2021. But that depends on how long Uma was a student at Auradon Prep. Yeah, I know, this timeline logic sounds very confusing, but that's just my assumption. And hold that thought, cause things are gonna get weirder later on. Uma states that Queen Mal has offered her the position of principal.
Things were just getting back to normal. When Mal came to me with an offer I couldn't refuse.
I think that was a smart move, cause Uma would want to do something like this, since her goal in D2 was to earn her chance in Auradon, but Mal and Ben were super occupied in that movie. However, her actions in D3 changed their perspective on how AKs and VKs should live together as one. Also, she may have gotten some guidance from Fairy Godmother herself as she was getting prepared to take on the position, so that might have been helpful for her. And yes, I stated before that Melly Paxton will be reprising the role as well. Now, when this movie was announced, it was met with a lot of mixed reactions from fans, which really disappointed me. The main complaint was that many of the OG casts like Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, Boo Boo Stewart, Sarah Jeffrey, Brenna D'Amigo, Dylan Playfair, and many others wouldn't be returning since they were probably busy with other projects, and mostly they were still grieving over the loss of the late Cameron voice back in July 2019. Yes, I know it's been 5 years, but for their sake, it's very understandable and I respect that. While I hate to bring up this rant, it's a statement that still needs to be justified to the minority of fans who are very skeptical and are basically not giving this movie a fair chance. I've said it before and I'll say it again, the franchise is not just about the core four, folks. It's all about the world of the Descendants and all of the possibilities it has for us. Yes, the trilogy follows the core four and they are important, but those are their stories. We've been following Mal, Evie, Jay, Carlos, and many others for those 7 years, and we already know about them, which is why D3 and the Royal Wedding pretty much went out of their way to wrap up everything we knew at that point, and now we're being introduced to new faces and new places that we didn't know before. So if the franchise wants to move on from previous established characters and locations, it could. It's called world building, folks. And we've seen it done before in other properties, like the MCU, Harry Potter, Fast and Furious, etc. And yet there was no major uproar from those. But apparently that's not the case when it comes to Descendants. Look, I know this franchise is made for a younger demographic, and many of us who've been with it since 2015, and now we're older and starting to accept the changes, myself included. But for the younger fans who are starting and still continuing, and for those who are still very skeptical, you gotta remember, change is inevitable. I know it's struggling, but it's true. And I've witnessed many life-changing obstacles in my own time. The OG cast has grown along with us while making these movies, and while, yes, they're actors, they don't have to play a specific character forever, because they know the day will come when they have to take their final bow and then move on to something else. Not only that, they're also musicians, performers, influencers, and most of all, they are people like you and me who enjoy doing many things. There's many opportunities for us, and we have to decide what we want to do and what's best for us, regardless of what the challenges are. So while China and Melly are choosing to step back in, many others of that particular cast are willing to move on and pursue other opportunities. But we won't forget who they were to us and how they impacted our lives. So while the new cast definitely has some big shoes to fill, I definitely think they'll do a great job carrying on this franchise. Nonetheless, while China was interviewed for a People magazine interview, she stated that she was apprehensive to return after losing Cam. But once she saw how excited the new generation of kids were, it reminded herself when she and the rest of her castmates created the original films. She also said that there's one scene that's very special to her that the audience will soon see, and stepping back into Uma was very fulfilling and healing for her. I don't know what the scene will be, but I have a feeling it will be worth it. I think for what China had to say in that article was very acceptable. I love what she has done with Uma's character so far, and I definitely can't wait to see more in this movie. She may have wanted to move on after Cam's passing, but she knows how much the franchise meant to him as it does for us, the fans. He wanted the stories to continue, but while they're not mainly about the characters, it's more about the world of the stories that they are creating and showing to us. Despite the grief China was going through, she was willing to come back to do something we enjoy, and while doing this for the fans, she's doing this in tribute to her friend. Speaking of Cam, one of my sources over on Twitter, Descendants BR, stated that an incredible and moving tribute will be shown at some point in the movie, much like what the Royal Wedding did. Also, to clear up some confusion from that animated special, remember when Mal, Evie, and Jay reflect on Carlos, and then Mal and Evie say this?
No. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I really wish Carlos was here.
We all do.
Apparently, many fans have made their assumptions that Carlos is considered dead like Cameron himself, and I think that is completely ridiculous. I believe that the three of them just miss him as he's gone off somewhere. I highly doubt Disney would have the guts to kill off his character, because they care about Cameron, his family, and most of all, his legacy. Not to mention the impact he's had on his fans. So if they went out of their way to say he's dead, then That wouldn't give us any warming catharsis for Carlos and for Cameron himself. Wow, even while we're at this point in the video, and as I'm typing the script, it's already hurting my brain just thinking about it, and I don't know why a few fans would assume that. It's just wrong. So here's my headcanon for Carlos's absence. Remember when he said this at the end of D3?
Carlos? Yeah? I'm actually really nervous to meet your mom.
You're nervous? His mom is Cruella de Vil. I'm petrified.
Wait till she hears I want to be a vet.
I think that's what he's doing now. A year after D3, he graduated Auradon Prep. Since Escape to the Isle of the Lost revealed that he's the minor of the four, he probably studied animal biology in college, and years later he and his girlfriend Jane might be co-operating the local veterinarian clinic in Auradon as their occupation. So Carlos could technically still exist in universe, but we don't have to see him while Cameron himself is no longer with us to play the character. I think that'll be the scene if Uma or Fairy Godmother could explain through dialogue to one of the new characters, and that will be the best way to reference any of the past characters and events while dealing with something new. But keep in mind, this is just speculation and nothing has been confirmed yet by Disney. Although I just want to set the record straight when I say this right here and now in the most respectful way possible. Carlos is not dead. Cameron may be gone, but he's not forgotten. Remember that. Okay, I apologize for being super critical, but now that we got that sorted out and I can calm down, we're gonna get back on track. So now Uma is starting a project that will bring in more kids everywhere, whether they're good or bad. On top of that, this is gonna include one of the new locations of this movie, Wonderland. And this is where Red comes in during the second teaser. Now who is Red? Portrayed by newcomer Kylie Cantrell, she's the daughter of the Queen of Hearts, who's being played by Rita Ora. According to Entertainment Weekly, Red is described as the rebellious princess of the hostile kingdom of Wonderland, and she doesn't have similar goals like her mother. We also got a first looks of her outfits, and for what I said in the reaction, Kylie really looks amazing. I think the role of Red was definitely made for her, and I can't wait to see what she'll bring to this movie. In the second teaser, she's walking through the halls of Auradon Prep, but she can't help herself with being a little rebellious, so she literally lets loose with her spray paint on the walls, doors, and portraits, even vandalizing the current king and queen's royal portrait. Come on, Red, show some respect for this couple.
You have no idea what they went through.
Now obviously the portrait of Mal and Ben in this teaser definitely raises a lot of questions. The main one that I'm sure is on everybody's minds is, will Mal and Ben return in this movie? Well, that's a very complicated answer. Because like I said in my reaction, Dove Cameron literally has no intentions on returning as Mal. But I do think there is a possibility for Mitchell Hope to return as Ben, but I'll come back to that once we talk about the plot. Anyways, we're also introduced to our second main lead of this movie, and apparently Red's roommate, Chloe, who is played by Malia Baker. Chloe is the daughter of Cinderella and Prince Charming, of which the legendary Brandy and Paula Montalban will be making their Descendants debuts as they are reprising their roles from the 1997 Cinderella adaptation. Now I'm sure you're asking yourselves, wait, if Chloe is their daughter, then how did Shaq came to be from the previous movies? As I said in my reaction to the second teaser, it's uncertain whether or not the film is going to address this. Although in my headcanon, they could clarify that he's probably adopted, and that's why he grew up to be the way he was. Yeah, I know, it sounds like I'm probably reaching here, but we'll have to wait until the movie comes out to get the definitive answer on their family lineage. So what's the plot? Well, this movie is set to introduce a new royal baby to Auradon, who still remains a mystery at the moment. A majority of the fandom has been speculating that the baby might belong to Mal and Ben. While I stated that Dove will most likely be a no-show in this movie, the door could still be open for Mitchell Hope to return, at least for a cameo if the baby theory is true. Perhaps this could be a Sleeping Beauty type scenario where Auradon gathers for the newborn's christening in the present day, but instead of Aurora, it's presumably Mal and Ben's baby. As of now, it's still very vague on who the parents are, and I don't know if this is mentioned in the book since I haven't gotten very far, so we'll just leave it there for the time being. Of course, things aren't going to go well as the Queen of Hearts incites a coup against the kingdom. In fact, this isn't the first time it's happened, because Descendants BR also discovered a plot point from Beyond the Isle of the Lost. And again, I'll issue another major spoiler warning if you haven't gotten the book yet. So long before the events of the first movie, the Kingdom of Wonderland refused to integrate with the United States of Auradon, which resulted in the Queen of Hearts rounding up her army as she fought for her freedom in the event called the War of the Roses. So from there, Auradon blocked the rabbit hole and cut off Wonderland from the rest of the world. This pretty much explains why Wonderland was never mentioned in the past. At least in the movies, that is. Yes, I'm aware the Wicked World animated shorts and the School of Secrets books have touched on Wonderland before thanks to Allie. But sadly, those are considered not to be canon since none of the plot points from those materials ever really spill over to the movies, so that's a separate continuity. Anyways, in the new What's My Name music video released this past April, I think we see one of those negotiations going down in the present day, because the Queen of Hearts is sitting on the left from Cinderella in this shot. But obviously, whatever Auradon is going to offer, it's still not going to persuade her enough. I can assume that this portion of the movie is possibly building up to another War of the Roses. And I'll admit, knowing that Wonderland was offered to join Auradon but then declined, this sounds nuts, folks. Auradon is definitely going to be in serious danger than ever before. God, is it me or this kingdom just can't catch a break from all the drama? Although, this presents another timeline issue I recently discovered. And technically I'm about to spoil a plot point from an 8-year-old book for newcomers. Anyways, in the Return to the Isle of the Lost book, it's revealed that while the barrier was still up, the Queen of Hearts was also a prisoner of the Isle and had her own beauty salon. However, now that the barrier is down post D3, she's clearly regained her ruling of Wonderland, and again, we see her in Auradon during this one shot of the music video. So yeah, how would this even make sense? Well, we know Jane pierced through the Isle's barrier in the first movie, which allowed Maleficent to escape to Auradon. Plus, the limo was the only way to open the barrier and get to both locations, but even Uma snuck past that in D2. But then in D3, the whole barrier was brought down, so that meant all the villains and VKs were free. And other VKs like CJ and Zevon managed to escape too. Even though Wicked World doesn't seem to be canon. Apparently, the Descendants franchise often deals with a lot of inconsistencies, whether it's through the animated materials, novels, or heck, even the movies themselves. So sometimes the characters we know or don't know are just randomly placed wherever they need to be for the story to work. Yeah, you see how this is confusing, but at the end of the day, I think we're used to that in other franchises. The MCU. Anyways, if your brain isn't fried yet, let's get back to the plot. So Red needs to put a stop to her mother's plans, but she can't do it alone. She apparently teams up with Chloe, and they both embark on the most dangerous quest to the most unimaginable place ever. The past. Yep, that's right, Descendants is finally introducing time travel. Like what's this, Avengers Endgame all over again?
Time travel!
Oh no, not today, Hulk. There's no complicated quantum realm time travel logic in these movies. Because we have Disney magic. Although Rise of the Isle of the Lost briefly touched on this, but... Uma doesn't remember that, so who cares? The main component of time travel in this movie will be provided by the Mad Hatter's son, Maddox, played by Leonardo Nam. Maddox is the royal inventor of Wonderland and also Red's teacher at Wonderland High. He created the infamous pocket watch that will allow Red and Chloe to travel back to the past to undo the traumatic event that sent the Queen of Hearts on her villainous path. In addition, we get our first look at the pocket watch itself thanks to a promo for the new book. I really like that design, as if all time is being worked whenever you travel to the past, present, and future. I can't wait to see what it looks like in the film. Speaking of time travel, as we jump back to the second teaser, while Red is spray painting, we briefly get a shot of the Merlin Academy Hall of Fame. Merlin Academy will be owned by Merlin himself, played by Jeremy Swift. And while we visit the past, we will see some familiar heroes and villains in their teenage years, along with some new faces. The following students will include Teen Fairy Godmother, Aladdin and Jasmine, Cinderella and Prince Charming, Sally, who is Rapunzel's daughter, Maleficent, Hades, Teen Hook, Uliana, who is Ursula's sister and Uma's aunt, and another new descendant, Morgie, the son of Morgana Le Fay. So it's going to be interesting to see Red and Chloe possibly interact with the younger incarnations of these characters. But it's uncertain whether their actions in the past will affect the entire Descendants timeline as we know it. As someone who's watched a lot of time travel content, I have a feeling things are going to get messy, and I don't think the TVA will manage to keep this timeline clean when the movie comes out. I'll just say this right here and now, forget everything you thought you knew. But yeah, we definitely got a stacked cast of characters. And hey, this is what Descendants needs to do, right? World build. Again, I apologize for those who are still struggling to accept the changes. Now, of course, the one thing you can't leave out of a Descendants movie is a wicked soundtrack, and luckily enough, we now know what it is. After the new What's My Name music video was released, we finally learned the full soundtrack of the film on Twitter, and apparently it's now available for pre-order on Apple Music. From this list, we have Red's intro, which is basically her rotten to the core, Cinderella and Prince Charming's waltz, Red and Chloe's version of Nightfalls, and so much more. So that's a total of 11 new songs. And one more thing as we wrap up, surprisingly, the cover of Bad Reputation that was used in this recent teaser, that was actually sung by Kylie Cottrell herself. I guess we're in for a treat with this new soundtrack, and I know we can't wait to hear it and see it on screen. So I guess that's everything we can discuss about The Rise of Red for right now, until we get the official trailer and then when the film is finally released this summer on Disney Plus July 12th. Also remember that Disney Channel will premiere the movie on Friday, August 9th. But of course, we'll be reading Beyond the Isle of the Lost in the meantime as we get ready. Until then, let me know what you're looking forward to in the next Descendants movie along with your predictions. Comment all your thoughts down below and be sure to subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching, Descenders. I still have a bunch of reading to do, but until then, I'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here for a little postscript. Now I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown for the teaser trailers for The Rise of Red. Also, I hope you enjoyed that little animated bit that I worked into the video. It was a little something that I wanted to work on and basically give a shot because I seen it from other YouTubers and I figured, you know, I might do a little bit of that since at the time when I was working on this breakdown, I really didn't want to show myself on camera because excuse me, I didn't really have the time for it. But for this bit, you know, this is actually the first time I'm showing myself on camera. But again, I hope you guys enjoy that anime bit. I know it's not perfect, but it's the best of my ability because I'm not like the best animator for any sense. You know, I know my work is not perfect, but it's what I had to work with, and it's what the best of what I can do. Again, I apologize for that, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. But I wanted to inform you guys of something big that just happened recently. Now, as of today, it is Thursday, May 23rd, and Disney finally did something that we've been waiting for so long, and that is they finally released the full official trailer for Descendants: The Rise of Red. Now, as of right now, I have not watched it yet. I was still very busy and working on this breakdown, and I do want to say this. I sincerely apologize for working on this for so long because I was super busy with this video, and in between that, I was still reading Beyond the Isle of the Lost. Now, as I said in the breakdown, I was probably around 3 chapters in, but especially as of right now, since I've already finished editing it, I'm about 17 chapters in, and as of today, I'm probably going to be 18 chapters in, regardless of how long it will take me to upload this video. But like I said, the trailer just dropped today, and I'm most likely going to do a reaction, but I'm debating whether or not I should do a reaction and a breakdown in one video on its own, but I'm most likely going to do a reaction because I think as of now, whatever the trailer is going to show us, I think it will more or less reveal stuff that we've already talked about and what we speculated, and everything that we probably speculated on for so long. That has yet to be confirmed and probably contradicted at this point. So again, the theories that we touched on, regardless of them being seen in the trailer or not, that they will probably be revealed once the movie comes out. But rest assured, I will be doing a video on the trailer very, very soon. I know it's taking me a long time to edit this thing. Again, I apologize, but since this has already happened, I figured I might as well inform you guys at least right now, so that I can finally get started working on that reaction, and then hopefully whatever else comes out for this movie, I'll probably inform you guys on that as well. But I think that's pretty much everything we can do for right now. So I'm going to get started on the reaction right now, and hopefully I can get this out in time for you guys to enjoy. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I apologize that it was so long, but some things happened over time. But basically, this breakdown is done. I'm going to get started on the reaction, but thank you guys so much for watching. But until then, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.